Most people spend their lives trapped in a prison they cannot see. The walls are built from thoughts about the past, regrets about what could have been, and worries about the future that may never arrive. This invisible cage steals their energy, clouds their clarity, and keeps them from truly living. And yet, right now, in this exact moment, there is a door to freedom that has been there all along. The remarkable thing is, you do not need to create it, earn it, or even fully understand it to walk through. You only need to notice it. This is the essence of Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. It works in ways far deeper than most people realize. The first reason this teaching works is deceptively simple. The mind is almost always elsewhere. When you watch your thoughts for just a few minutes, you see how quickly they leap between time zones, from yesterday's mistakes to tomorrow's fears. The mind resists the present moment because it feels it cannot control it. The past is already written, the future is still negotiable, and the present is simply unfolding without your permission. Tolle's approach interrupts this pattern by drawing your awareness back to what is happening here, now. And the more you do it, the more you realize how much noise you have been mistaking for reality. Science, too, backs this up. Neurological studies show that focusing on the present activates brain regions linked to emotional regulation and reduces the overactivity of the default mode network, the part of the brain responsible for mind wandering and self-referential thinking. This is why presence feels so refreshing. You are not just spiritually aligned, you are rewiring your brain. And when you rewire your brain, you change the way you experience life. There is also something almost mystical in how the present moment dissolves certain kinds of suffering. Think about worry. It exists only in your imagination as a projection into the future. Think about guilt. It exists only as a memory replay in your mind. The instant you step into pure presence, these mental ghosts lose their grip. They cannot survive without time, and time is exactly what the now removes from the equation. But the power of now is not about pretending the past or future do not exist. Toll never says to abandon planning or learning from mistakes. What he suggests is that life is only ever lived in this moment, and if you miss this moment, you miss life itself. The paradox is, when you live fully now, your future tends to improve naturally. Why? Because your actions are no longer fueled by fear or regret. They are fueled by clarity, and clarity is far more powerful than panic. One of the most transformative aspects of this teaching is the idea that you are not your thoughts. It sounds abstract until you experience it directly. Sit quietly and watch the next thought that comes to mind. Perhaps it is about work, a conversation you had, or a sudden craving for coffee. Notice that you are aware of the thought. If you are aware of it, you cannot be the thought itself. You must be something larger. Toll calls this awareness your true essence, the stillness underneath the noise. And here's the thing. The moment you identify more with the awareness than the thought loses its power over you. This shift is why people often describe a sense of lightness after practicing presence. It is not that their problems magically disappear. It is that they are no longer carrying the extra weight of mental commentary. Imagine walking through life with a narrator constantly judging, predicting, and replaying every moment. Now, imagine turning the volume down on that narrator. You can still hear it when necessary, but it no longer drowns out the music of the present moment. Many misunderstand the power of now as a purely meditative practice, something you do for 10 minutes in the morning and then forget. In reality, it is a skill you weave into every ordinary act. Washing dishes becomes a meditation when you feel the warm water on your skin. Walking down the street becomes a meditation when you notice the rhythm of your steps, the cool air on your face, and the colors and sounds around you. These small acts accumulate, building a deeper capacity to remain present even when life becomes chaotic. The power of this is profound because chaos is inevitable. Life will bring sudden changes, losses, and challenges you cannot predict. Most people are thrown into emotional storms during these times because their minds are already unstable, running on autopilot. But when you have trained yourself to return to the now, you carry an anchor. You can stand in the storm without being swept away. You still feel emotions, but you are not drowning in them. Toll often says, make the present moment your friend, not your enemy. This sounds poetic, but it is a radical reframe. Most people treat the present as an obstacle between where they are and where they think they need to be. They are in a constant state of resistance, waiting for some future condition to finally allow them to relax. But the truth is, life is never going to pause and say, "Here, now it's perfect, you can be happy." If you wait for that moment, you will be waiting forever. Presence cuts through this illusion by showing you that nothing is missing right here. Yes, challenges may still exist, but your peace does not have to wait for them to vanish. This is why the power of now is not just philosophy. It is a practice of reclaiming your inner space. It works because it interrupts the unconscious patterns that make you miserable. It works because it is not about belief, but about experience. You do not have to convince yourself that the now is powerful. You can feel it for yourself in the instant you stop running from it. And the more often you return, the stronger the habit becomes, until presence is no longer something you visit. It is where you live. One of the reasons people struggle to stay in the present is that the mind convinces them that something important will be lost if they let go of constant thinking. It whispers, if you don't keep worrying, you won't be prepared. If you don't replay the past, you'll forget the lesson. This sounds logical, but it is a trap. Worry is not preparation. Regret is not growth. You can prepare for the future without being consumed by it. You can learn from the past without becoming chained to it. When you live in the now, you think more clearly because you are not thinking from a place of fear. Another reason this practice works is that it aligns with how reality unfolds. Everything happens in a continuous flow of present moments. You never step into the future. You step into another now. You never revisit the past. You recall it in the now. The mind's obsession with then is like a movie projector replaying old scenes or inventing new ones. But life itself is the screen, here and now. And when you realize this, you start noticing how much time you've spent living in mental movies instead of the actual scene unfolding around you. There is also a deeper philosophical truth here. Now, the concept of self begins to loosen. Without the stories you tell about your past or the dreams you build for your future, what remains? Pure awareness. This can be unsettling at first because most of us have built our identities over time. We define ourselves by what happened to us or by what we plan to do. When those fall away, the ego feels threatened. But what emerges is something more stable, something no event in time can destroy. This is why people often describe moments of deep presence as spiritual, even if they are not religious. The boundaries of the small self soften, and you sense that you are part of something larger, not as a belief, but as a direct experience. This is not mystical fluff. It is the natural result of stepping outside the endless commentary of the mind. You might wonder, if the now is so powerful, why is it so hard to stay there? The answer lies in conditioning. From childhood, we are taught to focus on achieving, on becoming, on always looking ahead. School trains us to prepare for the next grade. Work trains us to meet the next deadline. Culture tells us happiness is somewhere in the distance, waiting for us to arrive. This constant forward lean becomes automatic, and presence feels unnatural simply because we haven't practiced it. But like any skill, it grows stronger with use. There are practical ways to anchor yourself in the now. One is through the body. The body cannot be in the past or the future. It can only exist in the present. Feeling the rise and fall of your breath, the texture of the ground beneath your feet, the subtle hum of energy inside your hands. These are doorways out of the mind's time-bound chatter. Another way is to listen deeply. When someone is speaking, give them your full attention without rehearsing your response. You will be surprised how rare and nourishing true listening is. Toll's teachings also work because they are not about adding more to your life, but about removing what blocks your natural state. You don't have to create peace, you simply stop fueling what disturbs it. You don't have to generate joy, you just let go of the mental noise that buries it. This is why the shift can feel so sudden. It's not something new arriving, it's something old leaving. The benefits spill into every area of life. Relationships improve because you are there with the other person, not lost in thought. Work becomes more efficient because your energy is not divided between the task and the mental commentary about the task. Even physical health can improve as stress, one of the body's most damaging states, decreases when the mind stops spinning in time. Perhaps the most beautiful part is how presence changes your relationship with challenges. When something painful happens, the mind tends to stretch it out, replaying it endlessly or imagining it happening again. But if you stay in the now, you deal with the pain in its actual size, not in the exaggerated version the mind creates. You feel what is here, you respond as needed, and you move forward without carrying the heavy echo of mental repetition. This doesn't mean you become passive or detached from life. On the contrary, presence makes you more engaged because you are not distracted. When you act from the now, you act with your full energy and intelligence. You are not reacting out of habit or fear, you are responding to what is happening. And this kind of action is far more effective, whether in relationships, creativity, or personal growth. Many who practice the power of now notice a subtle but profound shift. Life begins to feel lighter, even when external circumstances remain the same. This is not because they have escaped reality, but because they have stopped fighting it. Resistance to what is drains enormous amounts of energy. Acceptance, on the other hand, doesn't mean resignation. It means you stop wasting energy denying the present moment and instead use that energy to move through it with clarity. And here's the paradox. When you stop resisting the present, it begins to change in ways that feel almost miraculous. Opportunities appear, solutions become clearer, and synchronicities occur more often. This is not magic. It's the simple result of being fully here, aware, and open, rather than trapped in mental loops that blind you to what is in front of you. So why does Eckhart Tolle's power of now actually work? Because it is not a theory, it is a direct experience. It bypasses the mind's endless debates and takes you to the source, awareness itself. It works because it aligns you with reality as it is, instead of as your mind imagines it to be. And it works because it reveals that the peace, clarity, and freedom you've been searching for are not in the future. They are here, now, waiting for you to notice them. The question is, will you? Will you give yourself even a few moments today to step out of the stream of thought and simply be? Will you taste the stillness that has always been present beneath the noise? You don't have to wait until your life is perfect. You don't have to fix everything first. All you need to do is notice this breath, this sensation, this moment, and then the next, and the next. Remember, life is not something that will happen once you get through your to-do list or solve all your problems. Life is happening now, and it always has been. The more often you return to this truth, the more natural it becomes, until the now is no longer something you visit. It is the place you live from. So, take this as an invitation. Today, catch yourself when you drift into the past or the future. Gently, without judgment, bring yourself back. Feel your breath. Notice the life around you. Watch the thoughts pass like clouds without chasing or resisting them. This is your doorway to freedom, and it has been here all along. What about you? Have you ever had a moment of deep presence that changed the way you saw life? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might be the reminder someone else needs today. And if this message resonated with you, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and keep returning to the only place where life truly happens, the now.